Well, yeah. Well,
Oh, okay. Let me rephrase.
that's the
I don't
best they
care
can
if
do.
people being anonymous, but it's like that's like something someone made it just to get on here and not be associated
I
with
think
this
it's short
like
for fucker. It fucker of
ever.
what?
Yeah.
Like fucker of like who knows? Who knows what he fucks? A hole in his couch. His mom's open mouth while she's asleep.
Ugh.
Who
I want to
fucking
think
knows?
about that. Oh gosh. Well,
Oh,
anyway, this has been a good show. I think it was good getting Tom on, and I think it was
yeah,
needed,
yeah.
especially
I
during
don't
all this.
know what the future for the Quiet Place is. I thought about just doing regular streaming under the Hatchet Mouth name and just calling it that. But I don't know. The Quiet Place follows me even when I'm not on. It's my quiet place, and kind of that's what this show represents. So that first hour was good for us to kind of get out our frustrations, and I'm glad that other people came, like Charles, who I really think is a cool dude, and Corey in the chat, who kept sending all these messages in the chat, that were valuable and showing us his experience as a black man who is, as a kid, was raised by white people, but still got scowls and looks, in his neighborhood. Says, I just want things to be fair. The people in power need to make that happen. We know who the people in power are. They definitely aren't minorities. Well,
Well, okay. Okay, I ain't gonna go there. Never
well,
mind.
I'm getting to it. I'm leading up to it. Um,
They actually may be minorities, just not in the way that you think.
mm, um, So the last thing he wrote was, I want you all to enjoy your secular conversation on this Sunday evening. Peace be unto you all. God loves, and it don't matter if you're black or white. And to that, I say, I don't care if you're black or white either. Uh, People have got to calm down and stop waiting to jump on someone, like analyzing posts and going back 6 years on someone's Twitter looking for ways. You have to be looking for a way to end someone's,
Oh
reputation.
yeah,
If you
it's
go back
totally
that far on
evil.
someone's Twitter, you can't just that doesn't just happen on its own. You're going back through someone's archived tweets and looking for some reason to stir up drama.
Yeah, it's
There's
evil.
no other excuse for turning up tweets from 5 years ago unless you want to fuck them over, and
Yeah,
that's
and
pathetic.
you and I can both attest. We've both been on the internet
Yeah,
for a pretty good amount of time. Neither of us have ever even thought of doing that stuff.
yeah,
This is what spiteful little demons do.
yeah.
And that's why I call them demons. That's what
I
they
wasn't
are.
in favor of the conservatives doing it to James Gunn either, because Guardians of the Galaxy movies are fucking awesome. But and it's just, yeah, you want to fuck them over if you're willing to go that far into their backlog of tweets to
Yeah,
drum something
I've
up.
never done that. I've never been like,
No,
I'm going
I've
to ruin someone's career. It's like
I've
that's
never. How much time could they have did they spend doing something that they where they could have done something, to better themselves, their lives, or someone else, that they spent that time tweeting
wanting
it
to
out?
hurt someone else. I
Yeah.
mean, again, that's not that's
It,
not
it,
normal
these
behavior. It's
people,
evil.
these people are, if they took long, hard looks at themselves, would see that they're the source of the malice and not the people that they're actually going after. Uh,
No, see, these people are the people who would crucify Jesus, and that's why they actually need to repent. And that's
you're
what he was
absolutely right.
telling.
You're
I mean,
absolutely right there. I mean, uh, I'm not to the point of evangelism with it like I feel you are sometimes. But you're right that they absolutely would. Um, and there's no way around that. I mean,
well,
I don't
I
know
think
what
it
I
goes
would
back to
do. I don't know what I would do back in that time, but I know for sure I would not be a fan of anybody being ganged up on the way that they do. I'm not a fan of lynch mobs. Never have been. I probably would have, championed, civil rights back then because they were being ganged up on, and you know, someone was polite to me. I don't want to be polite back, and it's just, but foaming at the mouth and just, attacking people and waiting on standby to attack people.
Yeah,
And
and waiting to attack a good man like Tom. I mean, literally, I've met him in person. I've got signed book by him. We've exchanged emails. He's read my stuff. I mean, not all my stuff, but we've, I know him. These people, they're just waiting on a chance to tear down an old man
yeah.
because they're evil little demons.
And he has more to say of substance on the matter than any of the
100,
people who attacked him.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Literally, it's like what he said. You've actually got this freaking wealth of wisdom from these other writers, but then everyone just goes crazy because some woman invented the term final girl, which is fine. It's a good term.
yeah.
And it's accurate. But
Mhm.
again, it's just like he said, that's it. Like, I don't know. It's so annoying. But I mean, it just shows you what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose. They want, again, it's Marxism. They want to, puff up the marginalized voices while at the same time saying that there are no differences. It's like you can be attacked for A, saying you don't see color, and then B, saying that you do see color, because then that would be racist. I mean, again, they're living in an insane world fueled by evil.
And
All they want to do
we're
is attack.
marginalized, but also get used to it, white boy. We're taking over.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know. It's so stupid. And it's so obviously false.
okay, what are you
And
complaining about then? If our day is if our day is dying, or this it's our day is sunsetting, what's the term? Then what are you still bitching about?
well, it shows you what they would do if they could. They would march right into your house, take you out of it, and kill you. They would do that to Tom. They would do that to me.
They
They would
would
do that
straight
to a
up
lot of
purge our
people.
asses and you know, um wait, what was it you said before?
I'm just saying that they would come in. They would kill us. That's it's
Well,
that
they
simple.
for people who want to abolish private property, sure,
Yeah.
but
But no, I'm glad that we did this, and I think it was good for Tom. I mean,
I
I
am
really do.
too.
And
I
he
wish
said
we would.
that thing, and I hope F. Paul Wilson hears this.
Hmm.
He was stupid for pushing Tom down in that way, because the thing is, it's my generation, it's you, a lot of people. We're gonna have to be the ones actually saying what Tom wanted to say, and we're gonna be freaking lynched for it. And it kind of would have been good to inherit something from the older generation trying to right these wrongs that have happened. But no, that my
That you muted yourself. I did not mute you. You muted yourself. Go
oh,
ahead.
how much of that little mini rant did you hear?
I heard you just muted yourself and unmuted yourself quickly. So
Okay, well, no, what I was saying, and again, I hope F. Paul
generation
Wilson.
inherit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope F. Paul Wilson hears it. He should have let Tom say that day, because it's going to be me having to say it one day. It's going to be
Mm.
you. And it could have been cool to inherit something from the older generation, trying to make something better. But instead, no, they're like, okay, screw it. We have to go along to get along. And
I
I've
think
never
that
had
the
that
boomers
mentality.
gave us more than they got. I think the boomers gave us more than they got at our age to get the ball rolling. We wanted our parents to be around forever and take care of us, I think, and that's where our generation is at. I don't know if you're even in the same generation bracket as me, so I don't
I'm a
know.
Zoomer.
Okay,
You're a millennial, I would say.
I would hate to think that I am a millennial. I feel more like I'm a Gen Xer.
You may be. How old are you?
I'm going to be 40 at the end of next month.
Oh, yeah, you actually may be Gen X then.
Cool. God, I
Maybe.
hope so. God, I hope so, because I sure feel, like if I could just live the '90s over, I mean, I'd come back and deal with whatever, you know.
Well, again, I think, and this actually might be a little bit different, because whereas my generation and then your generation, you all had a little bit more. It's like Zoomers. We grew up like there's going to be people growing up in my age bracket, at the start of 9/11. Like literally, I was too young to even know about 9/11.
Really?
So yeah, so I mean,
Whoa,
literally, I came of age in a post 9/11 world,
that blows my mind.
and yeah, that's when you're talking about the institutions. That's what I'm getting at. Everything now, literally it's irreparably woke. And I'm just
Why
like,
are these corporations uh, making business decisions based on tweets?
well, that's where I would go back to the boomer thing. Not, and again, not all boomers, but it's like someone should have pushed back, because now it's like a battle we can't win. I mean, we can win it, but it's going to be tough. And I think very few people are actually up to fighting it.
We
And
choose
I
the wrong leaders, is what it is. We choose people who are also entertainers, and that's a mistake. Gavin McInnes is no leader.
oh, that's all shill stuff. Yeah, I hate that. All the
None of those people are actual leaders.
no, not
They
at
may
all.
grift on the idea of leadership, but they don't. They ain't about it.
No,
We need,
drifter's the right term.
and we also need people who aren't going to be overcome with extremism from our side. You know, conservative extremism should not be a thing either. Like you've said before that you think people who do porn should be put to death. That's extremism. I don't think you really mean it in your heart. You may say it just to be edgy, but I don't really think you would, if you were seeing it unfold at your wishes, that you would go through with it. But
I mean,
whatever.
I could make a pretty good case for porn being like a serious crime. I'll say this: rather than putting them to death, just put them in jail, like forever. I
Jail
would
forever.
jail pornographers. I'll go on record with that one.
Well, sometimes they do. If you look at the Rob Black case,
I don't know anything about that one.
research it sometime. I don't want to get into it, but well, this has been more productive and better than I thought it would. I was actually dreading coming on and was looking for ways out of it, to be honest. Not because of you, but just I didn't feel like doing it. And I told Ben and Gregor, I've given Ben and Gregor the night off for like 4 weeks in a row because I just haven't felt like streaming.
Well, this is one of those instances. It's like no one wants to, like, oh yeah,
I felt
everyone's
like
coming together at a
I
funeral.
had to. And I actually had an
Exactly.
argument with someone who's usually on these streams before, slight argument, more like a disagreement, I guess, who felt like it was a bad idea to proceed because I've had a major depressive episode lately, which is true. But I kind of had it out with him for a split second because I wanted to do this at all. And how they thought you were wrong and Tom was wrong. But I felt in my heart that I had to do this because I don't like seeing anyone bullied. I didn't like seeing anyone bullied throughout grade school, in high school, ever. I would always go out of my way, to go to people who were being bullied and be their friend, you know? So, but I didn't like, I've never liked nagging either. So don't, if you're being bullied, then, go to someone that can help, but don't nag me because I'm not, on standby for you, and don't go back through my tweets 6 years, and certainly don't hang out on my Goodreads to be read pile. That is like thousands of books strong, thousands
Your
of books.
freaking Goodreads pile is insane.
Okay. and cherry pick, a few things that you disagree with. That I probably will never even get around to reading. Okay.
So you're talking about Bradley with the anti-Holocaust thing.
Yeah. I totally don't give a shit about this still. And I totally don't give a shit about trying to justify it to him. Why did I put those books on my to be read pile? For the same reason I put your books on there, Bradley, because, a curiosity, wanting to see what was written in between those covers. Okay. Period. Take it as however you want, but period.
Yeah, he went insane about it on that thread.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had you blocked.
I don't have to justify my TBR pile to you. No matter what it is, if it's the Satanic Bible, if it's the Alchemist Cookbook, fuck you for having the gall to think that you have a right to an explanation for that. You don't. You don't have a right to my medical history. You don't have a right to tell me I have to take a shot. You don't have to tell me a goddamn thing. You tend your own goddamn house, weasel. Get the fuck out of my life. And if you ever come here, okay, and you want to make it personal, okay, I can't kick a lot of asses, but, yours might be the first.
Yeah, no, he was
Shouldn't
going
have said that
insane on
because
that thread.
this will probably get struck down now because he's that much of a coward and a weasel. But I never mentioned his last name, so you know, yeah, yeah. And
I don't think it
I'm tired of my co-host trying to talk me down from either A, apologizing to people and trying to make it right, or B, taking out my frustrations on these people who won't let these issues die after years. It's up to me to let it die when they go on and on and on, and they still show up in my chat just to offer these bullshit uh zero effort posts like oh look, all the turds are in one stream. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, our enemies are not very bright.
What does that what that's the best you had to, at least now this guy actually had something to say, okay, and it was of value, and I offered him the link several times, but he closed with God bless you. Now that's something I can I can make something with that. That's something that's actually valuable. But this I mean that doesn't even get under my skin. So whatever. It's almost 1 a.m. I don't know what you have to do tomorrow, but I've got some books to ship out. So
Yep, I got to go to work.
thanks again. I've got several more books on there if you want to buy. I know you're not a human ATM, but anybody interested, I've got plenty of links to my eBay set up on my Facebook. I'm putting everything that I've already read or viewed on my shelves on eBay. So a lot of good stuff, and I can probably be talked down on the price a few times because I'm that desperate. So all right, later everyone. I don't know what the future holds for the Quiet Place, but I do have a guest lined up as of now for Sunday, and I won't say who so that the whisper networks won't get to him. I think he's pretty solid in his convictions that he wouldn't back out, but just in case, Thanks, Zach. I wish you would reconsider your retirement from the Quiet Place. But
I will.
huh?
I said I will.
You will. Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to go into seminary, that's fine. But I mean, you can't change other people from their base. You know what I mean? That's like what I was saying. The left, you don't want to become the extreme reflection of the left on a right, wavelength. So, I mean, you kind of have to accept that there's going to be salty language and possible drug use and raunchy stories of our various experiences and even our takes on coming back from the dark side. I mean, whatever, I mean, and dissenting voices. I mean, if you are going to be here, you got to expect all that. And I mean, I've got to think that anyone who would be who would be virtue spiraling on your side would have to take into account, as long as you're a good boy, that should matter. I mean, you could just say, you're being witness for us
I
because
get
you
what
care
you're
about
saying.
us. See what I mean? I
I
mean,
do care about you.
you can't change the format and how we take questions and how we act on here, though. I mean, any more than they can change us. You know what I mean? And you got to take that into account if you do want to be a part of this moving on. But yeah, man, that really got me down and deflated my enthusiasm after two really great shows when you did leave. I mean, I had to muster my morale to kind of put one show together, and then I failed to do it the next week, and my old friend I reconnected with, Will, I wasn't able to get him to,
Okay, heck,
thrill.
Manjaro.
Yeah. I don't think he wanted to be a ongoing part of it every week, which is cool. It wasn't malicious at all. I think he still might pop in here occasionally. He's probably not a fan of this show we did tonight, but
Honestly, this show is probably the best show that's okay. I would even say this, even in comparison to the old Quiet Places, which was what originally I became a fan of, the ones before me. I think this one actually ranks up there with those.
It was good in that I was able to say what I wanted and not feel stifled, or hold my tongue to be fair to other parties.
Well,
Um,
it was of the moment and it was true. And there's something to be said about that. You can talk about stuff that's cool, talking about them kind of as artifacts. It's a little bit different when something's new happening. And I'm not advocating being like a drama queen.
well,
I'm advocating it's like we're speaking to the issues that actually face us
something
today.
that's actually transpired, and
Yes.
yeah, you're right. You can't do that all the time. That's a problem.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sometimes people get tired of arguing, and that's great when that happens.
Yeah.
Really, but I don't know. I miss having Ann on, and Phoenix.
Why
They're
didn't
both
Anne come back? Was that because of
She's married in living in France, and her last
good
YouTube
for
video, she referred to her husband as her captor, and I don't know if she was joking or she was being sarcastic or not. I don't know.
well, I'm happy for Anne being married. That's very good.
I am too. I just hope it's a happy marriage. I hope she was joking when she referred to him as her captor.
She seems happy when I talked to her. Well, I didn't really. It was a couple tweets on Twitter with me and Ben, but
Was it recently?
this was way back before the first return show.
Oh, okay. Well,
So,
anyway, I hope everyone sticks around and that some of those old personalities come back. But in the meantime, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably doing this on a basis of how I feel every week. But I've definitely got a show lined up for next week, and a host as of right now. I don't think that we've been unfair tonight. If anyone thinks we have, you can message me on Facebook and tell me why. And as long as it's not bullshit trolling, and it's actually a measured response, then that's fine.
yeah, and I will defend everything I've said.
Well,
Like literally, these people think I'm scared
I
of them.
will.
I'm
I
not.
will too, because I was able to speak my mind and got out a little frustration and didn't say anything that I have to walk back. So I was very mild in my approach, mild and measured, just like Tom. And anyone who thinks otherwise is really thin skinned and needs to grow a few more layers. And that's the truth, Ruth. So,
That
um,
was a good note to end it on. That's the truth, Ruth.
and that's the truth, Ruth.